technology consultant. I am with the Greater Kendall Business Association, the friendliest place to do business. And it is my pleasure today to be with Mr. Dietrich Zeledon with Co_. He's truly an AI expert, and we know that it's an exciting industry right now. And welcome, Dietrich. How are you?
Thank you, Wilson. I appreciate it. Glad to be here.
Awesome, awesome. So tell me, who are you? What do you do?
Yeah, that's a great question. So I'm Dietrich Zeledon, as you mentioned. My background is in mathematics, applied mathematics, and an MBA in strategy. So I've worked a lot with numbers, computers. And one of the things that really hit me was this technology was so primed to be exploited by people, by individuals. And I thought, I have to create a company that harnesses technology, that teaches people how to use it. And that's where the name Co_ came in. It is purely a learning platform for people, individuals, and companies to really begin harnessing the power of AI, as we mentioned. And I'm glad that we're here and looking forward to deep dive into this.
Yes, this is, it's great. It's exciting. Any new technologies to me is very exciting. So, you know, we can go back to riding horses, and then the car was invented.
Right.
That was a big deal, and the internet came about, and then it blossomed. The old analog telephone, and now we have the mobile telephone. So that type of technology and innovation is, I've always been fascinated by it.
Yeah.
And now we have AI,
Yeah.
which I feel is probably going to be even bigger than the internet.
Yeah.
Even though we need the internet for it to function.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So, so how long have you been doing AI? I know you told me mathematics and all that good stuff, but how long have you actually been doing AI?
Yeah, well, AI, I mean, it begs to go back a little bit, right? The history of AI, I don't want to bore people, but AI has been around for almost 60 years. There was a period where there was a lull, the AI winter, they call them, and that was because technology hadn't caught up, right? Computing power was really expensive. The algorithms that were being built weren't there yet. So I've been doing this for a long time, specifically machine learning, different algorithms that were the foundation for AI. Now, fast forward to maybe 2014, 2015 with ChatGPT, OpenAI, and just became revolutionary, right? So I've been doing this for almost, I would say 3 years fully on, because the technology has been available, just so, what do you call it? Recent. But the building blocks, again, artificial, machine learning, neural networks, all the algorithms that are there, this is what they teach you in school. Now, one of the things that happened to me when I graduated college was, how do I apply math? And the answer was super simple. There were companies that were saying, you know, we have a lot of data. What do we do with that? So that became part of my trajectory when I thought, okay, how do we use data and how do we use the things that make a business, you know, grow and apply it to that? And AI was just one of those things. To me, I don't focus so much on the technology as what can the tools do for you? So for example, if you're a business owner, say, what are the tools that will make my business grow? But you have to know how your business grows. And I think that AI is one of those tools, right? If you don't know what are the components of your business, it's going to be very hard for you to use any tool for that matter. So for me there's a technology that is so game changing. And if anyone, whether you're an individual or a company or just a small size company or a big company, how to use these tools to grow your business. And I think that is a fundamental tenet of my company, right? Using the technology that's there, but with the focus of expanding, whether it's your business or your personal growth. I mean, we could talk a lot about what AI is to you personally or business. I use it personally and I use it as my business. But yeah, so that's sort of the fundamentals of what the company is.
Yeah, I think this whole AI thing is just going to optimize the world.
Yeah.
I mean, I use it as well, and there's a technique to using it. If you're just gonna type in, you know, a simple request, you're not gonna get the answer that you want. So I understand that it's all about the prompting.
Yeah.
You want to talk a little bit about that?
I do. So when I talk to individuals or companies that are very new to AI or have nothing to do with AI, the first thing that I try to explain to them is three things really. The players, right? So a lot of the work that we do or that I do with individuals is using ChatGPT only because it's akin to Google. You know, it's becoming almost a verb, right? ChatGPT it, like Google that, right? Or Xerox that. It's becoming an actual verb. So I use a lot of ChatGPT, but there's a lot of other technologies out there. But when I talk about AI, I say you got to know the players. So ChatGPT is specialized for one thing. You have other AI players that are specialized in video to text, right? So know the players. Then you have to know the technology behind it. So we could talk about LLMs and the different types of model, which is boring stuff. But the last part is your creativity, which are three things. Creativity is grounded on domain expertise. If I'm an architect, I'm going to know what to ask ChatGPT because I have domain expertise. If I'm not an architect, I'm not going to get the response that I want. If I'm a lawyer, I have domain expertise in that field, so I'm not going to be able to ask it. So domain expertise is huge. And then the creativity. How creative are you in that field to prompt the right questions, right? One of the things that I posit, and it's very controversial, I say, who are the best prompt engineers? Hackers. Why hackers the best prompt engineers? Because they know how to press the buttons. They know how to ask. They know how to get that, right? Who are the best prompt engineers? College students that are major in their own field because they have the domain expertise. So I think that that is the big thing. How creative are you? And how curious are you? How expert you are in your field? If you have those three things, you can literally become a god. You can create anything you want. In fact, you hear things like this: the people that will flourish and thrive using this technology are the people that are creative, that are not limited by their creativity to really prompt that. So I think that those people that are language majors, right, like literature, the arts, those are the best, I believe, prompters because they know how to ask and they know how to tease out the question. So you're right. You could go as easy as rewrite this email to, hey, I have this thought about this formula that I really want to prove. There's the mathematics. Think about those things. That's what I think about, how this technology will enable the creativity of the mind to really bring something to light.
Yeah.
It's powerful. Yeah.
Yeah. I had an experience yesterday with a client. He's an attorney, and we started talking about ChatGPT, and he really didn't know enough about it. So I gave him a sample of it, and I myself was surprised at what I got. So he had a pleading that he had to do. He had done one, in the past. So it was a long case. I asked him, and this is part of the prompting, I think, By the way, I did this in 5 minutes. Yeah. Which is crazy.
Yeah.
I asked him for some prior pleadings. I asked him what the new guidelines are, the new dates, the new judge, et cetera, et cetera. And then the prompt was, based on my prior pleadings, and based on that new criteria, please give me an updated pleading.
Yeah.
Simple, right?
Yeah.
And what I got out of there was incredible.
Yeah.
So my client couldn't believe it. And I very quickly told him, this is not about replacing your paralegal.
Yeah.
Because the paralegal needs to learn how to do this.
Yeah.
And instead of taking the paralegal, 10 minutes or 2 hours to do a pleading, now they can have it done in probably, let's say, 30 minutes.
Yeah.
They do need to, look at it and make sure that everything's accurate, et cetera. But I think it's a time saver, regardless if you're in the legal industry or in the advertising industry. It doesn't matter what industry you're in. I feel that it's going to optimize business in a big way, in a positive way. I don't necessarily think it's going to take jobs away.
Yeah.
Because there's other tasks that they probably should be doing, or they can enhance their skill set and be productive in other areas within the company, So anyways, those are my 2 cents. So what is your mission?
Before I go there, because I want to hone in on what you said, because I also agree with you. I think that if you're any company, and again, my company, and I'll talk about my mission, but I want to help individuals. So let's say if you want to really grow, whether it's personally or just knowledge or just want to create something, or if you're a small firm or a big firm. Well, let's go with a big firm. The job of a firm, a corporation, is to make money. If you're hiring 10 people and 80% of the job is doing menial work the computer could do, guess what? You're hiring the wrong individuals. I posit that a job, if 100% of your time is your job, 80% should be thinking ahead. How do I continue growing the business? How do I continue elevating the value proposition that my company has to the client? 20% should be literally automated tasks, repeatable tasks that a machine can do. Right now, it's the reverse. Think about it, for example, coding. You're in IT. Imagine you're a coder, okay? And there's a lot of programs out there with AI that literally has cut the time of coding by half, more than half. So now a coder doesn't necessarily have to spend the time really cleansing the data or working through it. Now he has the time to think about the next creation. That's the beauty of it. So I agree with you. I think that if companies if they don't understand how it is that they need to operate, if they're fearful of a technology that will automate tasks so that your individual worker can use their brain, which is what you're paying them for, by the way, to really generate ideas that will propel your business, that's a no-brainer. I think that where people fear is that, one, the knowledge of what it can do, but also maybe internally, oh my God, now I have time to really think through. Now I don't have to do these tasks that take my day and I've done my work. I have to really think through. And I think that that's the big sort of paradigm that will happen with this technology, because now I'm going to have enough time to prove the value that you're hiring me for. You know what I mean? Excellent. And that's the big thing. Now, what is my mission? So I said, look, I've been working in this industry in data analytics. So I started my career in media, not necessarily in front of the camera, but behind the cameras, media analytics. You know, the old saying is, you know, I have advertising, I don't know where half of it goes. That's where it started, where media companies began hiring individuals like me, statisticians, mathematicians, to say, hey, I don't know if this is working, but I need us to come up with a way to show that the value of advertising is working. And through that, technologies began to evolve. AI was a big part of it. AI now at media agencies are big. You can literally have 1,000 copywriters by just using ChatGPT, right? Instead of the 5, 10 workers that you have there, right? So the mission for me is to, one, teach. I think that we're at the cusp of a great technology. Remember when the internet came out and like it was all about video advertising and search, and it was like, I need search, I need video. And there was this big industry around learning. And I think that that is a big opportunity, learning. So what am I teaching? One, the fundamentals of what AI is. You shouldn't fear it. You should embrace it. Then you go into like, how deep do you want to go? Well, how can I use it for, let's say, my law office? I'm a restaurant mom and pop. How can I use it? So literally democratizing the idea, and democratize is such a cliche word, I know it, but it's literally removing the veil of what AI is, what it can do for you, and being your partner. Co-underscore is a Greek word. Sin, if you look at it, means together with, cooperate, collaborate, co-author. I want to be a guiding light or guiding, like a canary in the gold mine, I think it is, with your company to be able to say, let us collaborate. Let AI be your anything, which is the underscore, right? In coding, co-underscore unites. And that's what it is. If you want to be your co-author, let it be. If you want to be your co-assistant, let it be. If you want to be your co-engineer, let it be. But I think that people don't understand how powerful this technology is. We're at the cusp of it. And this is why I started co-underscore.
That's incredible. Well, we are out of time. And I feel like if we have, we can spend hours.
For sure.
Talking about this. But we've been with Dietrich Zeledon with co-underscore. It was a pleasure. We're going to have you back and have a lot more fun. Yeah. I want to thank you for tuning in. I also want to thank Community Newspapers, Michael Miller, Grant Miller, for allowing us to be here. And don't forget, the Greater Kendall Business Association is the friendliest place to do business. If you're not a member, go to greaterkendall.com, click on the join button, and be a part of us.